Hello, it's Foreign News O'Clock on Allnews Nigeria. I am Opeyemi Olubemi. Here are the headlines for today. Putin blames Ukraine for impending war. Zelensky confident of US support. US braces for terrible winter storm. Now the news in details. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has averred that Russia is not to blame for the war in Ukraine, adding that both countries are sharing a tragedy. During a televised address with senior military officials, the Russian president said he continued to see Ukraine as a brotherly nation. It will be recalled that in February, President Putin sent up to 200,000 troops into Ukraine, sparking a war which was led to thousands of deaths. He claimed the conflict was the result of the policy of third countries. The theory, which implies Western expansion, is the cause, has been repeatedly dismissed outside Russia. During his address, President Putin claimed the West had brainwashed pro-Soviet republics, starting with Ukraine. He was quoted as saying, "For years we tried to build good neighborly relations with Ukraine, offering loans and cheap energy, but it did not work." President Putin's long-standing concerns appear to stem from NATO's growth since the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. NATO's original goal was to challenge Russian expansion after World War II, but the Kremlin has long argued NATO's acceptance of former Soviet allies as members threatens its security. Tensions between the Kremlin and the West increased after the overthrow of pro-Kremlin Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych in 2014 following months of street protests. Russia has launched more than 1,000 missiles and Iranian-made attack drones in a wave of strikes on Ukraine's power infrastructure, which began on 10th of October. The attacks, however, have plunged millions into darkness. The address came as Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in Washington for his first time outside of Ukraine since Russia invaded 10 months ago. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is quite confident that the United States' support for his country would continue. On Zelensky's first trip outside his warring country since its inception, United States President Joe Biden welcomed his Ukrainian counterpart to the White House, with Washington confirming it will transfer to the Patriot air defense missile system to Ukraine as part of a $1.85 billion military aid package. Biden also revealed that the U.S. will train Ukrainian forces to use the Patriot arsenal, which will take time, but he stressed that the system would be a critical asset for Ukraine as it defends itself against Russian aggression. According to Biden, he does not see President Vladimir Putin stopping this cruel war.
The American people have been with you every step of the way, and we will stay with you. We will stay with you for as long as it takes.
On weather news, Americans are bracing for the coldest winter yet as the country heads into the holiday season. Forecasters have predicted that starting on Wednesday, a first storm will bring heavy snow, wind, flooding, and ice to a broad swath of the country, from the Plains region and the Great Lakes to the East Coast, followed by a surge of chilly Arctic air. According to the nation's weather forecast, the withering blast of cold weather hits the West Coast on Tuesday and is expected to move to the northern Rocky Mountains before bringing a deep freeze to the Great Plains and heavy snow to the Midwest. By Friday, the Arctic front is expected to reach as far south as Florida and the coast of the Gulf of Mexico, which could experience a groundbreaking cold. And that's it on the news. To keep up with Allnews Nigeria, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. We will be back with more news updates tomorrow. Until then, stay tuned. I am Opeyemi Olubemi. Have a good day.